Hello. Good morning. I'm Tina. In this video, I'll introduce ServletConfig and ServletContext. We can use both of the objects to retrieve deploy time information. And there do have difference. ServletConfig is per servlet config object, which means you cannot use servlet servlet config object to retrieve information from servlet B. Okay, the information between the information among servlets cannot be shared using or cannot be retrieved using servlet config object. Okay, because they are independent. Okay, and for ServletContext, this name cannot exactly describe what it does. It should be something called application context, because this object is used to retrieve application-wide deploy time information, which means if we have a context param, we can using this object to retrieve in every servlet. Okay, and because of the intention of ServletContext, for the context param, the only way config is to using web.xml, which is a deployment descriptor. But for like a servlet init param, we can using the web.xml, and we can also using annotation, because annotation cannot achieve application-wide information to config. When we're using annotation, they have to annotate on specific servlet or filter or listener, right? But application-wide information cannot be annotated on specific servlet. That's the reason. Okay, so now let me create a demo and to show you, okay, how are they being used. I already have the demo structure ready. Okay, POM, just add a dependency, and the web.xml, nothing. I just have the root tag, root element, and now let's create a servlet. Okay, the one I'm doing now is gonna be using XML to do configuration, and later on I will show you the annotation. Okay, so here, and we have to extend HTTP servlet, right? And here there is a very interesting bug. I will show you, not a bug, kind of like an implementation way. I will show you later. Okay, you will feel interesting too. So here, let's first do some common setting, and then we will do print writer out equals response dot get writer, and then we will say out dot print line. Let's make the structure works first. Okay, and out dot print line, the body sorry. Okay, now let's configure this servlet, okay, and also configure for the init param. Okay, let's using this one. Using servlet, configure servlet, and the servlet is init param servlet. Okay, and we will do a servlet class, which is miss.exng.init param, and then servlet mapping, right, and init param and URLs. We can using when we're using slash, then it will, when the application starts, it will directly go inside here. Okay, let's using slash when we application starts, and Tomcat will load this URL by default because this is root. Okay, now let me show you how to configure for the init param. We put it here, init param, and you will have a key value pair. Suppose key we're using what? Title. Okay, servlet config demo. Okay, and we can do more, and this one we use config style. How about that? Config style, this is XML style. Okay, and now we have init param, and if you, this is a deploy time information, right? Then how to retrieve them, the key value pair, we can using the what I say, servlet config. Okay, how to do that? Print line, what is this? Okay, which is the title, plus there are two ways. First way is you can using get servlet config dot get init param, and here using what? Here using title. Okay, this is one way, and there's another way. There's another way, which is config style, right? There's a convenience method, which is you can directly using get init param, okay, and using config style like this. Okay, when you can also take a look at the source code. You can see get init param. It will also using the servlet config dot get init param. So normally if you do, you just using this way. This is this is more convenient, right? And this one is just show you from get a servlet config, you can get a servlet config object. See here, you're gonna get servlet config object. Okay, and now let's run to see actually it works. Okay, I already set up like Tomcat and deploy, have this WAR file there. Okay, so run. It will open in Chrome. I have a pimple. Not beautiful. Okay, guys, can you see here? The information is being retrieved successfully, right? The information, right? Okay. So now let me show you something which you might not expect. Okay, suppose we just have this one. Okay, init. Okay, like this way, which is trying to override initialization method. And now let's restart. I just put it like this way. nothing. This is previously it works, right? But after we add the init method, nothing works anymore. The reason behind that is because we're missing one line. Because this servlet, how it's been initialized, is still from this init method. Where's from structure we can see init. It's not here. It's in generic. It's in generic. It must have init, right? No. Why it's been this one? So it configured like this way. But when we're doing there, this ServletConfig object is not passed to the super. That's why here it's none. I can show you. Okay. ServletConfig. And but from here we can get the info. We can get the value. From here we definitely can get. Okay, suppose we want to get the thing. SYSTM. And we also can get the value from here. We can get. But here, if we override like this way, here you will get nothing. It's gonna be none. It's gonna be none. Okay, let me show you one more time. Okay, good. And then let me refresh. Nothing, right? It's correct. Nothing. Yeah, sorry, I will go to this one. You can see here from init we can get the title and config style, but the ServletConfig, which is this part, it's none. To solve the problem, you do just very simple super.init and pass this one. Okay, and then here let me change this one to country style. After this one, you will see everything gonna work again. So be careful when you override. Okay. Okay, good. And I will go here. It works again, right? And here in our ID, you will see it already been kind of like a set the value. Okay, so this is XML version. Let me show you the let me show you the annotation version. Okay, annotation Servlet. Okay, and we also need to extend on HTTP servlet. And I just do one, which is a do get, okay, because other part is same. And for the information, I will use exactly the same thing here. Okay, and here title and the country config style, how to initialize, how to config. We don't using XML now. We're using web servlet. And for web servlet, we mentioned before, the required attribute is a value or URL patterns. They are alias to each other, kind of. And here by default, if we don't configure other attribute, you can just leave the value. But here we will configure others. So I will using init prom annotation. Okay, this is URL, kind of like not a good name. And then the next one is do you see here? It has init proms. We were using this one. init params is also accept a web init param array. So we can try to add 2 because here we have a title and a country style. Okay, so how to do that? Web init param. Okay, and here you're gonna have a name and value, which name is user key. Okay, title and value gonna be the value. To be differentiate, I want to demo you. This title can only get a key value from here. It cannot get anything from our XML because they are different servlet. Okay, so here I will give another one, which is init parameters annotation demo. Okay, and we can add another using semicolon and add another web init. Name is config style, right? Config style. And value, previously the value XML, here I was using annotation, right? And you will see this title and config style only will retrieve this one. It cannot retrieve these two. And this servlet, the title config, can only retrieve what being configured XML, cannot get annotation, this one. Because the servlet config is a per servlet config. Okay. So now let me redeploy and show you both of ways works. Okay. And the values are different. I'll just redeploy, so it's gonna be faster. Okay, and now let's go to browser and refresh this one, XML, right? And now I will make another call, this one, init param annotation, and you will see they're different, right? So here, this is annotation, the one we just wrote, and this is one, and this is the XML. They are different. You see here, they're different. So it works. Okay, they are per per servlet. Okay, good. And you can also see from ServletConfig, the object for them are different. See here, this is one object. And this is one object. They are different object. Okay. And now we finish about the ServletConfig. So the next one is ServletContext. ServletContext can only be configured using XML. Probably we can write some Java class to do the configuration, can also achieve that. Okay, but definitely not using annotation. Because when we're using annotation, this annotation must be applied on or annotated on servlet, but that information is not targeted to particular servlet, so it doesn't make sense to configure application-wide information using web servlet. Okay, so here I only show you the XML way, and to configure that, context param, also key name value, author. Who wrote this? Okay, Tina, or my channel name. We can configure multiple and country where I'm from. I'm from China. Okay. Cannot deny. Now how to get information, pretty simple. Okay, so I just do away from here. Okay, I can copy this one and copy again. Okay, then here I will put out dot print line, and here I will using author, and you can from this HTTP server to get a servlet context. Can you see? Get a servlet context, then same thing, get an init param. Okay, and author like this. Very simple, right? And the next one is also same, And here we are using what's the thing? Country. Same thing. Get a servlet dot get init pram and the country. Okay. You must get a servlet first, okay? Because when we directly using get init parameter, this one is under the get servlet config. They are different, okay? We must using get servlet. Okay, let me application context parameter. Okay, like this. Okay, they are different. Now let me also copy this piece information, and we just put in our here. You will see they retrieve exactly same information. Okay, both of the servlet. Okay, because it's application wide. You can also get it from here. Definitely, you can also get it from here just using config. Okay. Now let me go to the browser, and this is annotation. That is servlet. You will see retrieved, right? You from here. You will also see retrieved. Oh, here I forgot to add a BR. Okay. And now last one I want to show. Sorry. Last one I want to show you. Oh my god. I think this is last one. Before let me add a BR here. Okay. Last one, which is here has demo here. Suppose you want to get the application wide, same thing. Okay, like author config dot get servlet context, then dot get init param, right? Same thing, and same thing for that country. Okay, and we can also change this one to have a space. Okay, last one. Finish and refresh. You will see change it, right? Not this one. Refresh, change it, and also go back to our ID. You will see also being retrieved. Okay, so that's it for this one. And in my GitHub, if you also wondering those things, new window, I also create a blog, kind of like a blog for this. Okay, sorry. Okay, then we go to this blog. You can go to my Servlet JSP. Okay, and from the home page, you can see this one, ServletConfig versus the ServletContext. And here has a demo talking about what Servlet, XML style, and the annotation style, and the ServletContext and them. And here have something I didn't show you, which is you can also get init parameters to loop to have all the parameters being printed. Okay, so anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.